guys, so today we are just going to be doing a get ready with me. I chose to do this colorful look. Let's do this. Okay, let's jump into it. I'm gonna start by mixing my Burberry Fresh Glow foundation with my Fenty foundation. I'm using my Burberry in the shade number 12 and I'm using my Fenty in the shade 130. Sorry if you guys hear any noises in the background, it's just Matt on his phone and computer. But we won't have to deal with that for much longer. We move in a week, so that's happening. A lot of people have been asking me if I'm like sad or what's going on and stuff, and I think that, I don't know if I've explained this in a video yet, but I feel like this apartment was such an accomplishment for me because it was like the first place that I moved into completely on my own without like a roommate or a boyfriend or whatever. And I think that it felt like I was so accomplished because like I was able to pay my bills by myself and not worry and not to like look to my parents for help, and I was just like sufficient on my own, and I think that that's why I have such an attachment to this place. But that said, the minor renovations that we were doing on our other place are now basically done. I'm starting to get more excited about it because we did like a new walk-in closet and put like hardwood in our bedroom and all that kind of stuff, and put up a fence for the Doge, and she really loves it there. Like every time we go over there just to see the place or to see Matt's parents or whatever, she literally like doesn't want to leave. Like she'll be running in the yard, and then like we'll have to like go chase her and pick her up to like put her back in the car when we go to leave and stuff. So for my concealer, I'm going to be using my Burberry concealer in shade Ivory, and I'm going to be dotting in a little bit of the Tarte Shape Tape in light medium just because this has a little bit more of a peachy undertone, and I've had some bags lately. Let's just say that. We have all the furniture ordered for the bedroom, which is exciting. And I have been really struggling to jump the gun on getting furniture for like any other part of the house. I don't know why. I don't know what my problem is, but it's just been like nerve-wracking. I think because it's so expensive to go and get furniture and stuff like that I'm just like, I don't want to get furniture and have it not work in the space, you know what I mean? I think it'll be easier once we're in there, but there's nothing worse than ordering furniture and waiting for it after you're in the house and you are like now just sitting on your floor being like, I wish I had a couch. By the way, I've concluded that I actually like the Fenty Beauty Sponge more than Beauty Blender. I just feel like it's extra bouncy and soft, and I feel like, I don't know, sometimes I think that Beauty Blenders can almost leave, not necessarily like lines, but they almost leave like a texture or pattern in your skin because they're a little bit less bouncy and soft, and so this just seems to diffuse it a lot quicker and easier and with less effort. It's just something I've noticed since using it the past week or so. So I do have some little breakouts and stuff like that, but I'm going to not cover them any more than this. I've just found that my skin's been so dry since the weather's been changing a little bit. I just find that packing on that concealer over top of those zits, trying to cover them, makes them look so much worse and so much more like dry and patchy. So I'm just basically going to live with the fact that they're a little bit visible. Hope that's cool. Okay, I'm gonna go pop on my eye primer and my brows, and I asked you guys on Twitter if you'd rather see a tutorial with the with the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette or the Sephora Editorial Pro palette. I also asked if you guys want to see Marc Jacobs, but I guess we hate Marc Jacobs. I don't know. No one was interested in that. So I'm pretending that it's just between the two. I can't keep up with what we're boycotting these days. Oh, good. They're tied. I guess we're doing both. Thanks, assholes. Okay, so you guys pulled it together in the final moments to decide upon the Sephora Pro palette. So I'm gonna start with this color right here. And I'm picking that up on this super small little Hakuhodo brush. And I'm going to go in and start to sketch a V shape. This is gonna be our cut crease. Everyone seems to love the cut creases. I don't think they look good on me, but we're doing it anyway. Doesn't matter if this is a little bit messy because we can clean it up later. It's easiest when you're doing cut creases just to follow your natural lid shape, unless you're somebody that's maybe working with like a monolid and you're wanting to create that cut crease, in which case you're gonna have a little bit more troubles lining it up. But just use your eye as reference. You can line it up with like your iris, the tear duct, the outer corner here, whatever you need to do to make sure that you're getting that kind of symmetrical look. But it is just easiest if you're able to just go with your natural anatomy. Next, I'm going to be picking up this peachy tone. So I know you guys said you didn't want to see the peach palette, but we're going to use all the peach tones from the Sephora Editorial palette. And I'm just taking that on my little Cosette S185 brush. And I'm just going to start to blend out that cut crease a little. And then I'm going to grab my Smith 230 brush and I'm just going to buff over all the edges of that to diffuse it. I'm also going to take those same colors along the bottom, first grabbing that peachy color we just used, and I'm just going to buff it out along the lower lash line. And then taking that first kind of magenta-y color that we went in with on my smaller brush, and just putting that even closer to our lash line. Okay, so now I'm going to take my small little Hakuhodo shading brush, and I'm going to be grabbing my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in the color Freebase. I prefer using a primer potion like this that has that white color to it for the brighter shades we're going to be using. And I also like that this is still really nice and creamy and almost a little bit more kind of like watery than using like a gel eyeliner or whatever it may be, because I just feel like sometimes when you're layering shadows and primers and stuff like that, it can get very cakey looking, and I don't like that. So I like that this is a nice thin base. So I'm just picking up a little bit of that and I'm depositing it first right onto the kind of center of the lid. And then I'm working up towards my crease when I have less product on my brush. And then we're using the very edge of that brush while lifting our brow to create a nice sharp line. And that's gonna help us with our crease. And just try and keep your brow lifted while you are letting this dry so that you don't get that transfer like I just got there. But if you do get a little bit of transfer, you can just go back over with your brush. It's not a huge deal. Then I'm going to be grabbing the E11 brush from Volare, and I'm going to start with that teal color, and I'm going to pack it on first towards the lash line and then moving up towards that crease. I'm so upset. My camera just stopped working casually, so let me just quickly go over with you guys what I did, because I've already done my other eye, or I would just show you what I did on that eye that you guys missed. So basically I just packed on that teal color with our small little shader brush, and I put it first towards the lash line and then started to bring it up towards that crease. And then I went in and did the exact same thing with that lime green shade in the palette. And I'm just going back and packing some more of that green color on. And I'm just kind of dabbing, just making sure I'm filming now, I'm like super paranoid. And I'm just kind of alternating and picking up that teal and that green, and I just dab them over top of each other once we get to that kind of center line, and that's how I'm blending them. Then I'm taking a little bit of this color right here, which looks kind of like a soft gold in the pan, and I'm just grabbing that on my finger because I have my little nubbins. And I'm just going to kind of dot that onto the inner corner. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and grab this darker teal color, and I'm going to just place that right on that outer corner. Oh shit, whoops, I picked up the wrong color. And I'm just kind of dotting my brush back and forth between that teal and then the hot pink, the very first one that we used, to create almost more of like a purpley tone. And then just picking up that hot pink and really deepening that outer corner. And then I'm just going to take my finger and kind of dab to blend these, because there's so much color going on here that we don't want to take a big brush and try and blend all the way across. So I'm just taking my finger and dabbing and just kind of warming up that product so that it'll move around a little bit. And if you need to, you can go in with your little brushes and just kind of touch anything up. If you messed up your crease a little bit and it's not as sharp, you can go in with your brush and go over it no big deal. I'm gonna pop on some lashes and mascara and I'll show you guys the finished look. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Is this an appropriate look for the workplace? And honestly, yes, absolutely. I truly can think of really no employer that would have an issue with this. I just feel like it's professional, it's casual, it kind of says like, you know, like I'm confident, but still, you know, like a businesswoman. So this is the final look. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly do a little bit of highlight and contour. I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury contour wand, Easy Contour Sculpture Facile. So I mentioned this product a few videos ago, and I have to say, I do really love it a lot, but that packaging, it's truly my worst nightmare. So I just dot a little bit of that on, and then I take my beauty blender and I just kind of go ahead and buff it out. I just feel like it's such a nice, like, natural looking tan contour kind of thing. Oh, it's just so pretty. But the packaging just gets so messy and it's kind of awkward to like squeeze that product up out of the tube to get it to go into that little fluffy bit. It's kind of like you have to like squeeze it and then quickly dot it on before it recedes back into the tube. Packaging flaw. I've been struggling a little bit with a couple different things in terms of packaging. I got that Drunk Elephant sent me their jelly cleanser, which is phenomenal. It's gorgeous and I love it. But the packaging, I was asking you guys on Twitter if you were experiencing the same thing, and it sounds like literally everybody is, and apparently they're changing it. But cleanser just comes out of the tube. It has kind of like a twist cap thing, and cleanser just like literally pours out of the tube no matter how you're storing it. And so that's a little frustrating, but apparently they are changing the packaging, so that's good to hear. And then I'm going to grab my Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand, which is their highlight. And you need like the tiniest amount ever of this, unless you're super into like really intense highlight, because it is, shit's crazy. It makes it happen. For my lips, I was thinking we could do a nice black lipstick, and then I was like, oh, you know what? Like I always do black lipstick, and I'm sure that, you know, you guys are like tired of it, and so thinking of that, I was just like, maybe I'll do like, I don't know, a nude or something. Just quickly swiped on my MAC lipstick, and that's the finished look. So that is everything for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for letting me know what you want to see on Twitter. I will catch you next time. Let me know what you'd like to see in the comments below, and I'll get back to you. Peace out.